All right, hi everyone. This is Chapter 2, Lesson 6, Sales Tax, Tips and Markup. So, at the top of your page, you have blank blank is an additional amount of money charged on items that people buy. The total cost of an item is the regular price plus the sales tax. In that blank, you're going to write sales tax. So a sales tax is an additional amount of money charged on items that people buy. The total cost of an item is the regular price plus the sales tax. So you use sales tax almost any time you buy anything. Okay, it's that 6 cents, 10 cents, dollar that's added to your bill after you've already paid for an item. So let's take a look at an example. It says Drew wants to buy exercise equipment that costs $140. and the sales tax is 5.75%. What is the total cost of the equipment? So, in my first method, I add the sales tax to the regular price. So, first, find the sales tax. So, let T represent the sales tax. Part equals percent times whole. Remember that set up from when we did equations. Okay, so part equals percent times whole. So T is my part, that's my sales tax. Okay, and I'm going to take 0.0575 times 140 because that's the cost of my equipment. And I'm going to multiply. That gives me $8.05. So this tells me that the sales tax is $8.05. Okay, but I need to find the entire price that I'm going to pay for my items. So, and then I add the regular price to $8.05 plus $140 gives me $148.05. Okay, method 2, add the percent of tax to 100%. Okay, so this is going to give you 100%, which is the item that you're paying for, plus the sales tax on top of it. So 100% plus 5.75% is 105.75%. Now let T represent the total cost. Part equals percent times whole. I'm still doing T as my part. Equals 1.0575. Remember, I changed that percent to a decimal. Times 140, which was the price of the exercise equipment. And I get $148.05. So you can either add first or add at the end. Either way, you're going to be multiplying and then adding. So you're multiplying the percent, either the sales tax percent or 100 plus the sales tax, to whatever item that you're paying for. Okay? Total cost of the exercise equipment is $148.05. All right, there is a try it problem out on this page. I want you to go ahead, pause the video, try it out, and when you're done, we'll go over the answer together. All right, now that you've had a chance to try out the try it problem, let's go over the answer together. So the try it problem states, what is the total cost of a sweatshirt if the regular price is $42 and the sales tax is 5.5%? So we can either use method 1 or method 2. Completely up to you which method you use. Okay? I will show you the method 1 first. Okay? So method 1 is adding the sales tax at the end. So the first thing I need to do is find the sales tax. 5.5% is really like saying 5.5%, and I want to change that to a decimal. So that's 0.055. Okay, so that's just information that we need to know. So I'm going to set it up. T, I'm going to let that be my sales tax. 0.055 times 42. When I multiply, that gives me $2.31. Okay. Then I add that sales tax to my original amount, so $2.31 plus $42 equals $44.31. You can also do method 2, where you're adding the percent of tax to 100. So that would give you, so this is method 1, Method 2, 100 plus 5.5 is 105.5%. Okay? And then I do T equals 1.055 times 42, and that will give me $44.31. Okay. So either way, you still get the exact same amount. It's completely up to you which method you want to use. You can use either of them. You can use a combination of both of them. Completely up to you. So you either add the sales tax at the end, or you add the sales tax at the beginning. So when you add the sales tax at the beginning, you're doing the 100% plus your actual sales tax. Okay? And if you do it at the end, you're finding the sales tax in a dollar amount and then adding it to your original price. All right, on the second page, we're still continuing sales tax tips and markups. So at the top of this page, you have a blank or blank is a small amount of money in return for a service. The total price is the regular price of the service plus the tip. So in those two blanks, you're going to write tip or gratuity. So a tip or gratuity is a small amount of money in return for a service. The total price is the regular price of the service plus the tip. So it's very similar to sales tax. You find it the exact same way. Tip or gratuity is usually when you're tipping your server at a restaurant, you're tipping a tour bus driver, something along those lines. It's for a service specifically. Sales tax is at the end of a transaction. So if you're buying a shirt, that's sales tax. If you're tipping a waiter, that's tip or gratuity. Okay. A store sells items for more than it pays for. It pays for those items. The amount of increase is called the blank. The blank is the amount the customer pays for an item. So in those two blanks, you're going to write markup and selling price. Okay. So the amount of increase is called a markup. So when a store buys something, so say you buy jeans from Abercrombie & Fitch or Aeropostale or Gap or wherever you buy your jeans from, okay, the store pays a certain amount for their jeans. So let's say they buy them for $10 a pair. Then they mark them up and you buy them for $30, $40, $50 a pair, okay? That markup is how the company is making money. They're making money off of you, the consumer, okay? So that's called the selling price. The selling price is the amount that you, as the customer, pays for the item, okay? So let's take a look at an example. A customer wants to tip 15% on a restaurant bill that is $35. What will be the total bill with tip? So the first method is add the tip to the regular price. So just like we did for sales tax, part equals percent times whole, T equals 0.15 times 35, T equals 5.25. Next, you add the tip to the bill, okay? So when you do that, you'll get 5.25 plus $35, which will give you $40.25. Okay. Your other option is adding the percent of tip to 100. So 100 plus 15% equals 115%. The total cost is 115% of the bill. So let T represent the total. 1.15, remember I changed 115 from a percent to a decimal. 1.15 times 35 is $40.25, which is what we got when we added the tip to the bill. Using either method, the total cost of the bill with tip is $40.25. All right, I want you to go ahead, pause the video, try out the try-it problem on this page, and when you're done, we'll go over the answer together. All right, now that you've had a chance to try out the try-it problem, let's go over the answer together. So in this try-it problem, we're talking about Scott. Scott wants to tip his taxi cab driver 20%. If his commute costs $15, what is the total cost? So again, like we did for sales tax, I can use one of two methods, okay? So my first method is adding the percentage tip to 100. So that's method 2. My first method is going to be finding the tax for 20%. So 20% as a decimal is 0.2 or 0.20. I'm going to take T 0.20 and multiply it by 15. When I do that, I get $3. Then I add that $3 to my 15. So we'll end up paying a total of $3 or $18. Okay, method 2, I add my percent to 100. So 100 plus 20 is 120%, which is going to be 1.2 when I change it to a decimal. So then I do T equals 1.2 times 15, which will give me $18. Another quick tip that works really well when you're dealing with 10% or 20%, especially when you're finding the tip of an item. Okay? So, if you have $15, that's the total price, right? By the way, you can use this at restaurants in front of your parents, and they'll be really impressed that you can figure out the tip like that. Okay? So, $15, right? If I wanted to do a 10% tip, all I do is I move the decimal one place over. Okay? So, for a $15 meal, and I add a 0, okay? For a $15 meal, my tip would be $1.50 if I did 10%. If I want to do 20%, I still follow that step, and then I multiply it by 2. So if I wanted to do $15 as a 20% tip, well, it's $1.50 for 10%, I double it, $1.50 is $3. So my tip for a 15% bill would be $3. That is the end of Chapter 2, Lesson 6.